So I'm going to be talking about being a step parent and the challenges that I've faced with it. A lot of these stories are actually pretty fresh still, so I'm just going to be laying out my present life to everybody. The reason I chose this topic is because I feel like there are so many people that can relate to these stories, and there's just so many lessons that I've learned about myself these last few years. And it's all because of this little girl and me being a stepmom. I have a unique situation where I am a young stepmom. I'm only 26 and I am raising an 11-year-old girl. Um, she was 8 at the time that we've raised her full time, but now she's 11, and I will get into the background, the history of me becoming a full-time step parent. Ground about me becoming a stepmom. So my fiance and I have been together for almost 9 years, and um, when we first started dating, of course, he had a little girl. She's 11 now, so when we started dating, she was about 2 years old. And I'm obviously going to be doing very short summaries of every story that I tell. There's always so much more to the story, but pretty much um, when I started dating him, he only had in his parenting plan for visitations for Sundays, and um, that's the way it was. And it was that way no matter if we fought it or not. Um, that's the way it remained for many, many years. And so my fiance and I became the, fun Sunday dad and girlfriend. And bored a couple or many years later, um, about 3 years ago or so, we were told that her biological mom was losing custody and full custody. And little did we know that their beautiful home, the biological mom and her family's beautiful home and their great jobs and everything that they appeared on the outside, it was not very pretty on the inside. And unfortunately, we did not know that. And it was challenging for us to know that when we only saw um, my stepdaughter on Sundays, to know that there was not good things happening in the household. So, and it hadn't always been that way, but it had become that way. And obviously, the biological mom went down a dark, bad road. Um, Drugs, of course. Um, and we were told that she was losing custody. And so we got her. We got her Monday through Sunday, bags packed, most of her belongings in the house, and we had to set up a new room for her. We had to switch her schools, and then began the journey of being a stepmom. And all the lessons that I have learned this last couple years from her and about myself, it's been the most amazing roller coaster of my life. And I want to share it. I want to share what I've learned, and I want to share some stories that, and these things that I'm sharing, they're pretty fresh still. I mean, we're talking the last few years, so I'm going to do my best to keep out the emotions and it be more about the challenges of being a step parent and um, the lessons and the rewards and the good that can come from it as well. So here I go. Interesting. It's something that you have to have really good self-esteem as a step parent, and you cannot take things personal. from kids. It is never a personal thing. There is so much that they're trying to figure out in their minds and to work out. And all you can really be as a step parent is that stable, trustworthy person in their life. Because that absent parent, the parent that was once there and is not anymore, is gone. They don't quite understand that. And some kids might not voice it, they might not talk about it, and some kids might. But in our situation, it's really difficult to get anything like that from her, to talk about those kind of things. But that's besides the point. Um, just the biggest lesson is not to take anything personal. Um, and there's situations where, for instance, um, you know, here I am doing the basketball games, doing the baseball games, doing the scheduling, cooking, being essentially the mom without the label. And the biological mom, she calls once every 3 or 4 months. And granted, she only lives 30 minutes away. But she calls here and there every couple months. And anyways, so here we are. I'm doing a scavenger hunt for my stepdaughter. And at the end of the scavenger hunt, she finds that she made the basketball team. And on it, the scavenger hunt thing, it says, run back to the house and we'll give you the prize. And we're waiting for her, and she's not coming. We're like, well, where is she? And 5 minutes pass. We're like, where did she go? And come find out, she had run to the phone and called her biological mom because she was excited and she wanted to tell her that she made the team. And and it's one of those situations where you just cannot take it personal. Yes, I was there. I was putting in all the work and the effort into, and I'm the one that's going to be going to the basketball games. Her biological mom won't be. However, that's besides the point. She missed her mom. She wants her mom to want to be involved. And that's not something to get upset with her or take it personal with me. It's just the way it is. And you just can't take it personal. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I've had to deal with. And it's way freeing when you actually accept that and you actually try to understand the situation versus being the victim or taking anything personal. Another situation where a lesson was learned is that you have to respect the biological parent in front of the kid. You cannot speak ill will of any parents, step parents or biological parents. That's a big no-no. There's obviously strong feelings I have, because all I want to ever do is protect my stepdaughter. And for instance, another scenario would be the biological mom will make promises, and like the most recent one, which she's done before, is I promise I will call you every single day. And she will for like 3 or 4 days. She'll call, and then she'll stop for a month or 2 months. And when asked, I ask my stepdaughter, like, oh, has your mom called? How's she doing? That kind of thing. My stepdaughter usually tends to make up excuses of why she didn't call. Oh, my mom's really, really busy or whatever. She doesn't want, her mom cannot do any wrong. And that's just how it's going to be. That's typically until they're older and until they really realize what's going on, that's how it's going to be. And but the point is that no matter how much aggression and how much frustration I have towards her biological mom of not keeping a promise, not sticking to your word, and obviously hurting your daughter, there's a lot of aggression there, but I'm not going to show my stepdaughter that aggression that I have towards her biological mom. I will not. And I also won't not talk about her biological mom in the way of how's she doing? You know, how was your conversation with her? How are things? I'm not gonna that's the kind of conversation I'm gonna have with her about her biological mom. It's gonna be more of a normal conversation. I do not want her to feel scared or not comfortable talking about somebody that she loves. Because it doesn't matter what my relationship is with the biological mom. It all matters about the kid. And I think that happens with adults a lot of times. Parents, they get their own emotions mixed in and they forget about the most important thing, which is the kid. So these are all just, big lessons to learn and to really sit back when you're feeling these frustrations and anger and confusion. And that tends to happen a lot with being a step parent. And to really sit back and think about it and put yourself in the kid's shoes, what the kid's going through. And if you just don't still understand it, then it's good to reach out and talk to others that might. Um, and I have a really good step parent, so it's good to talk to her and reach out to her for advice. And there's lots of websites out there too. But anyways, so to sum it up, I mean, honestly, I could make this video an hour long, but I won't. Yes, the two lessons that I spoke about in this video is that always speak of other parents with respect and to not take things so personal. And there's, the fact that I've learned how to be way more patient, to be a better listener. The list goes on. There's so many things that I've learned, as do all of us when we become a parent. But yeah, I would just have to say that I think the most important thing is to be gentle with yourself. There's always times where you might doubt if you're doing a good job. And I feel like if you care about doing a good job and if you're worried about if you're doing a good job, then the more than likely you are doing a good job. And yeah, if you keep on trying to better yourself and improve, and to learn how to be a better human being, then that's the best example you can set for your kids, your stepchildren, or your kids. And I've learned that I can do this. I've been thrown a lot of big challenges this last few years, and I've learned that I can do it. So yeah, thank you for listening to my narrative speech.